What's going on, good people out there in the YouTube interwebs world land, and wherever else these videos may go? It is the Bad Wolf, usually the man in black, got on my yellow today, representing the one, the man, the myth, the legend, Bruce Lee. Rest in peace, brother. Appreciate all that you've done. Now, with that being said, let's get into the video. This video is dedicated to the people, male or female, who do not understand certain things out there when it comes to a specific type of female out there that likes to say, I don't need no man. I don't need no man. Now, obviously, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. I agree with some of the stuff he was saying, but not necessarily all of it, and some of it not how he, may have said it. But what he was trying to do was set a line in the sand. And everybody these days likes to blur, the truth, right, wrong, good, bad. Let's just mix it all up. All right. But there are some ultimate truths out there that need to be respected. Doesn't mean you still can't cross the lines or stand on it, but we're not going to blur the truth. The truth is always the truth, and that is what it is, and it will set you free. So, with that being said, understand that anybody who watches this, especially to the generalists, though some of the ladies out there, the ones I like to call adult-sized girls, not women. Women already have the laydown of the land. But this is for the, young ladies or the education seekers out there to understand how males think, move, process, and how we regard females. All right. So when we hear, and for those people who don't know, I was raised, God rest my mom's soul, by females mostly in my life. So I have a unique perspective without my father being there, and then later on becoming a self-made man in all the ways, mostly on my own, but with the help of other good fathers out there, operating as a surrogate of sorts for me as well. So, as a man, and when I say that, understand that there are some males out there who are adult sized, and ladies, do not ruin or try to, it's not going to work anyway, but do not try to ruin the definition of a man, because a real man, many of y'all have never dated, may have seen, didn't even know. You've just been approached and SEGG sexualized by adult sized boys. Okay. They've got the physical appearance of a man, but it's a boy in that brain bucket right there. Okay. And that with actions separates the real man from an adult sized boy that many of you guys are familiar with. We are not the same. Just like there's a silverback gorilla and then there's a regular gorilla. They are not the same. One is definitely in the lead handling the business, and the other ones are sneaking around behind his back trying to get some of the vajayjay. Okay. The monkey vajayjay, because that's a thing. That's what they do. Um, so when we hear a female be like, I don't need no man. The first thing for us is that a lot of guys, and like I said, I'm always going to tell you guys the truth, whether you want to hear it or not, whether you like how I say it or not, you like what I say or not. This is just what it is. And a lot of y'all would be more comfortable with hearing it from a female, but I don't have the luxury of having a vagina. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I don't have good advice. But I will never tell you this is how women feel, because I'm not a woman. But I can tell you, having lived amongst you for most of my life, or I shouldn't say most, but a good chunk of it, my adolescent and impressionable years, um, I can see what you're saying, and I can speak male and I can speak female. All right. So when we hear that as men, males, um, we think it's absolutely stupid, because generally you're not going to hear nobody but an adult sized boy say, I don't need no women. I don't need a woman. We when we hear that, it's semi infuriating, and but then it also at the same time makes us look at you guys and go, those who in which this applies, not all. She's stupid and she's never had a good man and she's never had a good father figure in her life. So automatically we kind of then put you into a you ain't never been treated right. I might hit it, but yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's literally what it is. Most guys aren't going to tell you that. I'm always going to be the one here on this channel to tell you guys the truth. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that as males, men, we know we hear me out, don't need a female in our lives to exist. So we afford you the same courtesy. You do not need us to personally, physically exist. This is true. However, these stupid ass statements come from either ignorant, delusional females or the elite cabal out there who pay people to go on the internet and to cause to stir up trouble and BS and to lead people down to these agendas. I mean, seriously, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, so I don't really care. But at the same time, like, when, oh, let's all shave our head, let's all wear our hair color this color, let's all put a ring here, let's all, you guys don't see that's a coordinated event? That's called LARP, live action role play. Okay. They're in the real world playing a play on you guys. I mean, most of your politicians, or whatever else, are labeled as on was it IMDb or whatever else as actors. You know what an actor is, right? So what they're doing is they're putting people out there, other females that they can pay, who aren't making much money or already are a little psychologically bent, and they pay them or coerce them to spread these agendas and create little groups. And then when people who are lost out there, I, I all the guys I dated were trash because they didn't listen to what I said and they won't do what I want them to do. Very me, me, me. But if a guy said it, yeah, women won't do what I want. Me, me, me. They're all stupid heads. Then you'd be like, oh, there's a narcissist because, that's one of the buzzwords. You see how it sounds stupid? It's the same thing. Just because you want to say it and you're a female doesn't make it like, oh, it's magic and rainbow powder and unicorn dust or some shit. No, it's still a stupid ass thing. And here's why. Because as males, we need most men we say we need a good woman. We smash hoes, we want a good woman. That's how our brains work. However, you act, talk, walk, if you're using prosty words, I just need a trick. Then we're going to put you into the first category of smash. But understand, there is a ton of awesome young ladies, females, women out there. A lot are in the emotional transition, having only dated the guys that generally show interest and pursue them. So that's why you're getting certain types of guys because either how you look, where you're hanging out, the words you use, you're attracting that type of guy, which then means you're pushing away all the other good guys, or you're not interested in a normal guy because you're not a normal, healthy person mentally. And you think normal guys are boring because you're used to all the Adams and Chads out there and the Tyrones and the ghetto boys because they're on the vajayjay hunt. The good man, we have the same thoughts as the ghetto or the Chads or the Adams. We have the same thoughts, but how we go about getting it and what we're going to do once we get it are different, and that's the difference between a man and a adult-sized boy. So when we hear a female say, "I don't need a man," we're in our head, we're like, "Yeah, you do." Not to exist per se, but almost every system out there, is primarily male dominated that keeps the infrastructure of this world going. Most of the time, a police officer shows up, it's going to be one or two dudes. Who fixes your car? usually a male mechanic. Call a plumber who shows up, some tradesman dude. Somebody steals your purse. Probably, if it's right off of you, a guy. If it's sitting around, laying around, probably a girl. Call the police on the person who stole it. Once again, back to another, probably a male. Go to court, probably a male judge. That doesn't mean females don't have an integral part. I'll get to that. I'm just saying it sounds real stupid. Now, when those particular individuals say this, all right, now don't take it as a personal attack, but if the shoe fits, lace it up. Um, but when we hear that, really, you sound like a child. Okay, real talk. This is grown folk business right here. You sound like a child. No normal, healthy woman or man has to go on the internet and promote that they don't need the opposite sex. Just in case the YouTube, you know, censors, get funny. Sometimes they do, especially because I put a lot of too much truth out here on this channel and on my Badwolf unincorporated channel. So you sound stupid. You sound like a child. Only a child would run around saying, I don't need that. I don't need that. It's your personal opinion, your personal preference. And sure, of course, the internet's a free spot. And a lot of them are just doing it for mental delusion problems and clicks and attention. There is a loneliness epidemic out there for majorly by females, but also somewhat by guys. Okay. So, because there's more females out there than males. But to be like, I don't need one now, of course, I mean, if you don't want one, that's fine. But if there was a good one who could be in your life that could love you, care for you, provide for you physically, financially, spiritually, guide you, which is different than control, okay? Not the same things. A real man will guide you. He's not going to babysit you, and he's also going to walk you to the door if you start trying to get on those prosty things, hoe bag things. Think you're going to talk to him any kind of way? You think you're going to control him? I don't like the cologne you're wearing because it smells just like my this, that. I mean, you guys can work some stuff out like that, but a lot of girls use some of that stuff as manipulation. See how far I can push him, see what I can control. It's not going to work with a real man. He doesn't care. A real man is not going to care about most of that little stuff. He will take it under consideration and say, you know what, I care for her enough. I'll make that exception. But in general, it's just going to be like, your fault, deal with it. I'm not going to be held responsible because of your poor taste and discernment in previous males or at your job or whatever else. Now, if you had a bad breakup with him or whatever else, and that's what he used to wear, that sucks. Once again, you picked the wrong person. I can tell you personally right now, my lady actually wears the same perfume as like my first major girlfriend. I'm not going to tell her. I don't really care. It's just perfume. When I smell it, I look at my girl, and sometimes, yeah, my thoughts do go, "Oh, remember the ex," but I'm focusing on my mind now. I'm reprogramming those memories. This is her perfume. That was the past. How the brain works. So yeah, I'm not ever, even with my current girl, 100% going to be like, "Oh, I gotta abide by every single thing she says." But I'll take it on consideration. I'll have some respect for it. I will try here and there, but I have a whole collection of different colognes. I'm not gonna just worry about which ones I can or cannot wear around her, especially because like the stuff I wear are all like Egyptian oils, and most guys don't wear cologne these days, much less Egyptian oils. So each one smells a little bit different depending on your body chemistry. So yeah, so sad, tear gone, don't care. So to us, you sound like children, just the same way you would hear a man on YouTube or whatever, a TikTok or whatever I was going saying, I don't need no woman. I can do all these things myself. And in effect, I really can. I cook, clean, wash, I can sew. There's nothing that nearly any female can do for me that I can't do myself. My mom raised me to do all those things. I do understand that there's a lot of guys out there who, you know, do not know how to do those things. And so they look for women or females to do those things for them. I'm going to just say it out. Some punk shit. If you call yourself a man and you and an adult who's also a man, you should know how to do damn near everything that you need to do. And you should be able to keep your house clean and your I mean, one of the first things you can do, check a guy out and see if his fingernails look clean. All right. Hard working, look and see if he's got calluses. Does he have books? Does he have his own place? Does he look like he's starving? Now, there's somebody for everybody out there. So I'm not even saying if you got like dirty fingernails, could just be working on your bike, motorcycle, or car. I do that sometimes or whatever else. But once again, ladies, if you use what we call as discernment, meaning the ability to pick properly, it's funny because most of y'all don't have that. But yet, if I were to recommend some bra or panties or a certain purse or shoes, you instantly know which ones are the top of the line and the best to go for, but you don't know how to pick out the correct male to be in your life. You allow generally the ones who come to you, you pick off, you decide between the ones who come to you. The ones you like, you guys do this bullshit ass. Wait, hold on. Well, no, I'm not saying all girls do this, but this one girl on TikTok, she's like, I don't understand why guys don't know, like when I'm interested in whatever else. Like I totally like gave him the pass, and like he was standing over here, and I went like this. That is not, as guys, we understand that everybody uses their eyes to look around to gauge safety and distance and be aware of your surroundings. So this, no, that doesn't pass for flirting. If you want to know as a female what you need to do if you're interested in a guy, depending on the guy, generally it's like this. Hey, yeah, what's your name? You are really handsome. I really like your shirt. What's your name? That's all it takes. And we're like, oh, okay, okay. If we're interested, if we're available, and if we look at you and we're like, that's my type, then you guys can get to know each other and start seeing where the similarities, good, bads, uglies, clean, dirty, druggy, whatever else. A lot of you females just, well, out of all the other ones, he's the best one that's come along and said something to me. Well, if you want better, then you have to go out there and say hi. Or in the old days, girls would look at you, they would play with their hair, and they would giggle and they would just stare at you, kind of smile and keep staring at you, smiling. That's when we know, okay, I think she likes me. Girls usually don't like out of all the things that have become modern, and I don't like that a lot of these modern females are trying to become part-time uh cosplaying prosties. Um, how about just taking the initiative and going and talking to a guy? Why? Is it because y'all scared? Y'all scared you might get turned down? I mean, you're holding the golden package here. But yeah, if you're scared that you might get turned down, well, then welcome to being a guy. Just because we do hunt is because our system is so wired to go after females. The good ones subdue it, and the boys or the young men actively pursue. But just because a guy's not saying anything to you doesn't mean he hasn't looked at you. Every guy in your vicinity has checked you out. Your face, your hair, your ass, your tits. That's what we do. That's it. We're bat bat babbity bat. That's it. So once again, most guys are going to tell you this, but it's just the truth. I don't believe it needs to be hidden. It's just something that we know and we don't usually talk about because we all do it. We all know. I can instantly have a rapport with another guy right now. Girl walks by. There's been tons of times, hundreds of thousands of guys. Me and him not even paying no attention to each other, a little nod, like, so I see you, I see you. And that's kind of like a security thing. I'm just letting you know I see you. So in case you're on some BS, I see you. And then a girl walks by with a nice butt, and then we both look down. We can see each other looking at her butt. She doesn't see that we're looking at her. And then she either gets far away or she starts to turn around and look and see, and we act like we're looking away or something. And then we look at each other and we're like, all right, I see. Yeah, okay, okay. That's how it works. So the whole thing about not needing a man is an elite civil social engineering project. They want to turn men into females, females into men or males. Sorry, ladies, but you'll never be male, truly. You'll never know what it feels like because you're not, your minds don't work the same. But you can take up some of the physical characteristics. But understand that even when you do that, straight guys, especially, don't want a female that is operating as a male. I don't care how you guys get down, what you like, what you're into. Male, male, girl, 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 male, girl, girl, male, girl, 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 guy, whatever. Doesn't matter. Hell, you could be one of those furries or whatever, the people who put the things in their butts with the tails. Whatever you're gonna do. To me, as long as you're not hurting kids, or you have a permission from an adult, hey, knock yourself out. But seriously, ladies, you guys have to be really careful about listening to other females out there because y'all don't know about some of these agendas, and you're so quick to be like, "Vajayjay power, yeah, girlfriend, let's stick together." Girls have been unalivers, they've been essayers, they've been prosties, mental health problems, abused by other females. Some of them have also been a part of popping little, into your drinks for themselves or for their male counterparts. It is my belief that a large percentage of that of the agenda is not really created by the females, but created by these elite males, these cabal males, who then use these females to work other females, who then operate in a in such a manner to be disruptive out there. Because if the society is in disarray and destruction and chaos and degradation, they make money. They don't make money when everything is calm. Think about it. If you're not fighting with him, taking him to child support, they don't make money. You guys work it out amongst yourselves, even if it's creating your own contract, they don't make money. You guys get married on the state level, they don't make any money really until you divorce. Imagine if it costs as much money to divorce as it did to get married. Easy in, hell out. You see what I'm saying? You guys fight. Generally, who gets arrested? He does. Why? Because he's usually the one with more money. Oh, does that offend you? Yeah, it's the truth. Generally, guys make more money. You guys know that. We all know that. But also, who generally gets the kids from the court side? She does. Why? Which doesn't make any sense. Well, she's the mother. Okay, but if she can't afford the kids and she needs his money for help, one, she picked poor. And two, if she doesn't have the money and the state comes to her and says, you don't have enough money to raise the kids, we're going to take the kids. So then why should this guy give her money? Because he took part in it too. If he took part in it, then he should also get 50-50 unless he's been deemed to be incompetent as a parent or he walks away. But the courts don't generally look at it that way because they're corrupt. They pimp him for the money, her for the complaining, give her the kid, take his money. She then recomplains. They take more money, ruins his life, makes him miserable. She goes and finds a new guy, has another kid, rinse and repeat. She is a money maker. The system knows that she who complains first is usually going to be the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And that is the money maker. Usually the poor guy does not win unless he has money or he complains first and he has money. Most guys have average money. And then what they do have, they get drained when they fall into a situation like that because he giving blame where other half of the blame is due had poor discernment on where he left his seed. He should have wore a condom. He should have got snipped. He should have pulled out. He had bad pullout game. He didn't check to see and ask her to go get an STD test. If she was fertile, if she was sane. So it's not just all in the ladies. It's actually literally right down the matter. Doesn't matter. You both got ass naked and decided to do something. Like either kids or adults. But we've all been there. So I can't be like, oh, I've had this perfect, you know, uh, history or lineage myself. You know what I mean? I've shared a lot of my stories, and there's still a ton more to go. I'm not saying this to chastise anybody. I'm just saying, like, looking back, I can see like where I made a lot of mistakes. Not as many as most of my friends, I'll tell you that. But still, yeah, life is about making those mistakes, especially when when you don't do your research and discernment on that person, and that person is hiding their illness, their STD, their fertility, their political outlooks, their religious outlooks, all that. It's a perfect storm of chaos and problems. Even for me and my apple-headed, cheating, lying, scumbag whore of my son's mother, I didn't ask miss. You know how I got this to learn this discernment from making those mistakes. And you know what she hid? That she had mental health issues. She had been abused. She's a liar and a cheater. She hid all that. The only indication she ever gave me when we had a somewhat serious conversation is she said, "Baby, I'm messed up," and I should have listened to her. And I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in today. But being young, dumb, and full of cum, I mean, she's was a hot Filipino girl. So I was like, "Hey, what's good?" Gave her and her parents everything, took care of them in so many ways, and then once again tells me I don't need no man, but cheated on me with her boss at the job I helped her to get. Got dumped by him and then met another guy and is with another guy because she's a problem. Her father, who I thought was a good dude, he's a good male as far as he doesn't hurt anybody, but he's also a wuss. Never taught them how to be. I mean, I guess he's not a good man. So how could he teach good man stuff to his kids? See the cycle? A lot of females are generally feral. Not all. Some get it, but there are a lot of feral females out there, and they don't realize that they're feral. It's like looking at a female cat out in the wilderness. Letting a couple of different male cats hit it. Why? Because it's feral. It doesn't have any standards, doesn't have a whole lot of discernment. They get in the heat and they're just like, well, let me see what's good. This is why, because we're part animals and part spiritual beings. We need to subdue our animal instincts to make logical decisions so that we can have the best life and experience possible. A lot of females want to go, well, I live, I flow through life and I feel my way. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like being in a shop full of knives and explosives and trap doors and acid and all kind of crazy weird stuff. And you're like this. This is what we guys hear you say when you say that. I feel my way through life. Oh, what's this? Is this a penis? Okay. Oh, what is it? Is this a knife? Oh, okay. Oh, ooh, that hurt. No, you're not supposed to just go through life feeling. You use your mind. Why do you think God gave you a mind? I'm not saying you have to be logical all the time, but it's amazing how female becomes real logical when either she's getting ready to leave you or she's at work. She knows how to run that position. She knows how to, all right, I'm going to call the movers. I'm going to have them come over here. I'm going to close up the bank account. I'm going to close up the things with the school. I'm going to go. All of a sudden, suddenly, all that emotional stuff, la, 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 turns into pure logic. Well, guys, when we're with you, that's when our emotional side comes out. If we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. So we're mostly generally logical in the real world. And then we go into the emotional foo-foo world when we're with our female. We don't do that when we're around guys. I'm never gonna be hugging on my guy like, oh my God, I feel so emotional right now. It's fun being with you. It's nice. No, we're not. That's not how. No, we don't do that. We don't even have the feeling to do that. But girls, you put us into that position and help us to be more organic in the spiritual sense. A lot of females out there are in that type of world all the time until the moment that they decide to be. I'm just saying that there needs to be a better switching mechanism and I need to add in a lot more than what's generally going on. But of course, this does not apply to every single female out there by no means, because there's a lot of women who I've learned a lot of this from. This isn't just me sitting down making it up. I've talked to grown ass women. I've been with grown ass women, friends and more. I listened, I learned. So some of the stuff I'm saying comes from the female perspective from females. I've learned it, I've adopted it. A lot of people's like, what makes you this authority to be able to speak like you know women? Because I've been with a lot of them in all of the ways. And you have to know a woman. See, a girl you can get easy. Girls are easy to get. A woman who's been fooled and played and now in a healthy place, stable, who still has desires, but has great discernment of a damn near a businessman, getting them to drop the panties, that takes mastery. Okay? Girls are easy. They don't know half the time what they're doing, especially if they don't have a good father or mother figure in there to teach them anything. So, yeah, I can speak on these things. Back in the days, I used to model and do all that kind of stuff. And I would have models like just completely nude in front of me, where like every other guy around, they were like, oh no, they start covering up. I don't know. There's just something about me or how I move that they were like, yeah, I'm okay with him saying it. There was only like one lady that felt uncomfortable. All the rest of the women, married and whatever else, breasts out, dancing, out. And this was like an 85-year-old lady, probably the only one I didn't really want to see, God bless her soul. And she was the only one who's like, um, can you not be in here? And I was like, I get it, Miss Lady. I was like, that's love and respect, you know. So I gave her the love and respect back. I mean, I didn't care if any of them covered or whatever else. I mean, I still had my things I had to do behind the scenes as a model because I was modeling with them, you know. But generally, some places don't have two different things. So I would never sit and like sweat gawk or look and be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just more or less like, okay, here's your thing, boom, boom, here's yours, got mine, blah, blah, okay, let's go, blah, blah. And we would fix each other and whatever else. I mean, nothing wild went on, just that. So, but anyway, I digress. So, if you have to say you don't need a man, but yet all these systems around you, and then help me out with this one too. Don't need a man, but some of these 304s be staying pregnant. Some of these low discernment females be pregnant. Multiple baby daddies don't need a man, but somehow you pregnant. You must need a something. Sounds like you needed two things: some D, and apparently you got sauced. And a lot of y'all got tossed. Real talk. I know I'm probably not winning favoritism awards on some of the words I'm using or how I'm saying it, but guess what? It sucks. This is the real world. So live your life how you want to live, but understand this: there are agendas out there. There's games being played, and I would like a number of females out there who are lost or need greater insight and understanding how we good men, males, really think and operate. And that's primarily where, I operate from. But will I make some videos on like, how the what the bad boy thinks? I mean, that's pretty obvious. But yeah, I can make that. I was that person for a while too, you know. So, um, but once again, all these videos on my channel are about all of my experiences, what I think, what I've learned, my world. I mean, not completely full world travels, but I'm a traveled person. Till I had my offspring, my kid, and then I decided to settle down, which surprised a lot of my ex-girlfriends or friends with benefits and whatever else. You're like, I never thought you would ever have a kid and settle down and actually buy a house and do. That's all I've really ever wanted. But at the same time, like, opportunities presented themselves, and I went from being a nerd, being like, no, no, it's okay, no, no, to all right, being a nerd sucks. Time to have some fun. Let's go see what's good. I mean, I was out 7 days a week. If it was a day that ended in Y, which is every day, I was out drinking, smoking, partying, dancing, smashing, rinse and repeat. Hardcore. I mean, I knew all of the owners of all the clubs, all the bars within like a two-state, three-state radius, damn near the dive bars. I've been in all of them. I used to have owners calling my cell phone when I wouldn't show up on a normal day to their place and tell me to come down, or else tell me to come down and bring like my friends, which they know usually I would run with like 30 or 40 people, no problem, any night of the week. But most of them are all married, kids, moved, whatever now. So and you got to grow up. Nobody wants to be the old guy at the clubs, whatever else. I mean, unless you are that guy, then hey, but do what you want to do. So once again, that whole, I don't need no man mantra, that it's part of an agenda, ladies. All right. Don't be fooled by other females trying to lead you down a path of destruction. And even if you are ghetto or this or that, like do better, be better. If your friends are all like scumbag chicks, um, you're going to be construed to be a scumbag chick by decent guys, because if all the rest of your friends are that, they're going to assume birds of a feather. So be safe, be healthy, be careful out there. Just like in the jungle, assume everything is out to get you. Doesn't mean stay in the house all the time. Just means be careful. It means that there are dangers in this very real world, and I would like to see everybody as safe as possible. Um, is that possible? No, because there's always going to be that one baby gazelle or whatever at the watering hole and doesn't see the alligators in the water. Like some of y'all baby daddies. Saw y'all got caught, snatched up. Some of y'all live to tell a tale and get away with a couple marks and wounds and a kid. Not everybody does. So to finish up, I don't need no man. Once again, no, you don't need a physical male in your life to be okay. But if you can find a good male or female to be in your life who's healthy and balanced, that's great. And I wish any of you who are seeking that to have that. However, are you ready for that person? I'm sure a lot of you just said yes. A real relationship is going to challenge you on so many ways that you can't even see or imagine after being out in the streets and hoeing. Even if you're not a big time hoe, you just went out there, you were a little wild, a little young and fun, just giving it a whimsical term. I was just young and fun and crazy. I just had, makes it sound better. It makes it sound like you weren't out there, poor discernment, hoeing and whatever else. But male or female. But okay, we're not here to chastise, just keeping the truth. But when you get in that relationship, even if you think you're ready, and this is 100% across the board, you are not 100% ready for a really good, healthy relationship. It's going to seem weird. It's going to be boring at times. It's going to seem some things that he or she is going to challenge you on. You're going to be like, I'm a grown ass man. I'll wear whatever cologne I want to wear. I'm a grown ass woman. I can wear whatever I want to wear when I go out. You're going to have to compromise on those things. And then at the end of the day, you're going to have to be like, what's more important? You wearing that outfit and going out having and him thinking you probably have low discernment. And if you ever cheated, or this is the time you're going to cheat, this is what's going through his mind, and you're going to ignore him, then expect that he's probably going to ignore you. Then that outfit and you being feral in that way, which means non-domesticated, meaning not ready to be an actual wife or a mother, means more to you than having love and a relationship with a healthy partner. And then the other partner also is going to be working on needing to be healed. So if I were to have, and this was a real conversation me and my lady had about, my cologne, my oils that I wear, I completely ignore that and don't work with her even a little bit, then I am more stuck on that cologne and doing things my way as an individual. And I am not ready to be the man that she needs, healthy, well rounded, to be in a relationship with her. It is going to be give and take. And if you're not ready for that, doesn't mean you lose doesn't mean you're losing your identity. It means you're trading in something as an individual for something greater, which is what you want, right? A healthy relationship, unless you're out there just playing people's games and playing with their life and their minds and hearts and time for financial reasons or mental health disorders. Whatever it is, guys, take care of yourself. Do you, but be the best version of you can every day. That's it. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Wolf's out. Woo. Got hot.